systems.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where might it be from? Very
Probably,
right?
yeah, very scientific. Probably since I don't think that this is popular science magazine or book. Probably some academic journal.
Mm-hmm. It might be academic journal. Might be from science book. Why not? But academic journal is more. It seems to me that the most appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
D. Dima again.
Hi, has anyone had any experiences with nanoparticles sticking to glass wire? If so, does anyone know if there is a suitable silylation protocol to pre-treat the glass wire, or to do something about this annoying non-specific adsorption? Thanks, blog.
Blog. How do you recognize it?
It's very specific.
Yeah,
Form.
informal. Yeah, very informal. Hi, thanks. Even this science like emoji are used. So it's not appropriate for academic writing. Yes. And
yes.
the last one, Adalberto, Denis, who
I can. Animal and in vitro studies. Animal and in vitro studies suggest that aspirin may inhibit breast cancer metastasis. We studied where the aspirin use among women with breast cancer decreased the risk of death from breast cancer. This was a prospective observational study based on it also can be some science magazine. That,
science magazine or
academic journal, yeah.
Journal, right? But not forum. Okay. How easy was it to decide where extracts came from? How did you recognize it? What helped you to recognize? The way of writing, yeah? And the use of terms, the use of specific phrases can help us recognize what type of communication it is. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, the language we use changes according to why we are writing, yeah, the purpose, and who we are writing for, the reader. It is important to notice the different styles of language used in English. So that is why we have to complete the column with examples from our 6 extracts. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 5 extracts. So when we ask questions, has anyone had? So is given this one, yeah. As an example, and one more example from extract D. Can you find? Asking questions. The questions itself, themselves. Yes. Okay. Right, Jerm. The next one, use word verbs. So verb with particles, yeah? Do something about, something like that, yeah? Not just the verb itself. And from extract B, we have to find one more multi-word verb from this abstract. Any suggestions? Verbs with prepositions or other words, like in combination, like collocations. This one, be down to. Okay. And подивитись уважно на щось. Have you found? Дима. Дима,
Yeah, I'm here.
подивитись на. From extract B. This one looked at.
Looked at.
Okay, non-specific references to the work or of other researchers. Oh, sorry. Exclamation marks and emoticons like hi, and from extract D, what else? Exclamation, знак оклику.
Thanks.
Thanks, yeah. And emoticons, this one. Oh, yeah, emoji. Okay, non-specific reference to the work of other researchers. So like, for example, Einstein said that, and when we don't want to specify a person, we say in general about researchers or scientists, do not specify proper names. From extract B, let's find the example. Yes, say researchers in archive. Archive pronunciation. Or international medicine, right? You say researchers, yeah, in general, without specification of people. Use impersonal phrases to avoid saying you or we. Like there are some points to consider in part A or in abstract A and in extract E. Impersonal. So when we don't say who or what. This phrase. This was, yeah, a prospective observation study. And starting with there are, there is, and this is, this, these are, okay? These impersonal phrases we say. Passive verbs, to avoid saying who carries out a process. Do you know passive voice? Пасивний стан? Do you remember? Okay, then it will be easy for you to find it in abstract A. Yes, right. The results will need to be verified. And Latin language expression at all, and what else? In Latin, in part E.
In vitro.
Yes, in vitro. Okay. And there are some features in this table related for formal language or personal communication. So which are formal language? So the first one, when we ask the reader questions, is it formal or personal communication? These examples. Do you think it's formal language or informal? Yes, it's informal, or in other words, we call it personal communication. Multi-word verbs. Do you think we use informal or personal communication? Yes, in both. Yes, in both. Right, sure. Number 3, exclamation marks and emotions. Without any doubts, it's Adalbert. Formal or informal ways of communication?
I think that in informal.
Of course, informal, right? Yeah. Non-specific references to the work of other researchers.
Formal.
Researchers say, what, sorry?
Formal.
Yes, it's formal. Impersonal phrases to avoid saying you or we. Like there are some points to consider.
Formal.
Yes, it's formal, absolutely right. And it's related to scientific writing. Passive verbs to avoid saying who carries out a process. It's also
Formal.
Absolutely formal way of communication. And the last one, Latin language expressions. Of course, also formal. When you have a problem at work or with your study, who do you usually ask for help? Denise. At work, right? And in study, if you have a problem, also colleagues, right? And Dima, what about you?
Well, I will ask my colleagues at first place, and if the answer is still unknown, I will ask my teacher or
lecturer. Scientific advisor.
Scientific advisor.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever asked a question on a scientific internet forum, Adalbert?
Yeah, several times. I wrote to the MySQL forum, but I don't remember the reason why I did it.
So was your question answered?
Yeah, I got an answer from their developers.
Okay, that's great. Any other experiences? So I know about Denise, yes, that you have found the answer, right? Okay. And Dima, any experience of asking in forum?
Well, I have searched some information in forums, but haven't asked something yet.
Okay, but you read some forums, right?
Yes.
Maybe you answered, helped
No.
others? No, not yet.
No, not yet, yes.
Okay. Okay, and here are 3 examples, ABC, you see, from forums, from different fields, of course, and if you are a participant of such forums, which questions could you answer? And which answers could you just guess? But I'm not sure about the first one, but maybe about B and C you might guess or will help, for example, other people with answering. So first of all, let's read them. Denise, will you read A for us?
Filovirus host range. Does anybody know what the host range is for filoviruses? Example, Ebola and Marburg. I know that they can infect most all types of mammals and several species of birds, but I can't find the actual host range anywhere. Any help he would be appreciated.
So what field is it?
I think I can't get
Yeah,
an answer
sure.
for this
What
question.
field is it?
It's biology.
Yeah, it's biology or maybe medicine, right?
Yeah.
So we are not keen on. And mammals. Do you know the meaning?
Yes, it's soft C.
Yes, right. Yeah. Okay. Now next one. B. Dima, will you read?
Yes, I have been looking for a while now, but I can't find anything telling me what the radioactive materials are. In other words, which materials can't X-rays pass through? Thanks in device. Well, it's physics, probably even radio physics. Physics.
Can you help with physics?
No.
Okay. And the last one, Adalbert.
I was wondering how to import the quality of writing of a submitted paper is in the peer reviews process. I don't mean the quality of the data, but the actual writing in the words. Will a nicely written paper with the same data be more likely to be accepted?
Okay. So which field?
Probably it's someone is writing some course or diploma work.
Yeah, it might be in any scientific field, and it's typically a peer review we have for international scientific articles or scientific researchers. Like a part of monograph or a part of book or textbook. So all of them have a peer reviewing. So that's why people in any field, if they are writing a scientific research, they can be questioned with such problem. Okay. And my answer, so the same data, it's not likely to be accepted because they also check for plagiarism. Do you know the meaning of plagiarism? Plagiat. It seems to me your bachelor's works were checked, yeah, for plagiarism. So that is why to give the same data from others' works, it's not a good way to be accepted. Okay. And for each post, say please which sentences in each one used to ask question. Examples of questions from these forums. Can you give? Yes. Yes. Does anybody know? Starts with, okay. In B part, we also have a kind of question. Okay, which materials can't X-rays pass through? Yeah, so this one, in other words, the question itself, yeah. Okay, and in C part, the question will be the last one. In other words, will a nicely written paper, again, yeah, with the same data be more likely to be accepted. And say what the problem is in each part. How can we find out about the problem? Which sentences represent the problem? Part A, which number? So you see here are the numbers of sentences for us. Yes, second one. Okay, the problem is in part B. It's a question. Right, yeah, the first one. And in the last C. Yes. Will a nicely written paper be more likely to be accepted. Okay, right. And thanks the reader. Which sentences represent this? When we appreciate.
Any help will be appreciated.
Yes.
Thanks in advance.
Yes, thanks in advance. Right. Okay. If we analyze the subject field of each post, how do they differ from normal questions? What's specific about subject? Do you remember the structure of questions? Yes, the sequence. Okay. So, do we have question words here? Like what, when, where, why? Yes, right. Yeah. So no question words, they are omitted. And do we have auxiliary verbs like do, does, did, have, has? Do materials or can materials, yeah, which X-ray pass through or be the quality of scientific research considered in peer review? They are also omitted, right? Subject and main verbs, right? Considered, pass, range, and so on. Okay, so that's why when we are writing in blog or when we are writing in forum, so to attract attention, it should be short. Question, yeah, should be short. And the main idea should be represented, but not following grammatical rules. Okay, think about any question related to your own research and write as, like, not write, maybe tell us your suggestion to post in forum asking the question about your research, if you have any ideas, of course, what might be asked in forum. Simulations of, again, sorry. Okay, you will ask about the examples, yes? Okay, good idea. Dima, any questions you would like to ask in forum?
Well,
Concerning your future research, maybe? Or maybe current research?
probably I will ask about different models of spreading information, since I will write my future coursework about them.
So,
So does
model
anybody
of
know?
spreading information, right?
So yeah, does anybody know what are the popular ways of modeling information spreading systems, and how to where to can I find information about them?
Okay. And Adalbert, any suggestions to ask about the problem in forum?
I would probably ask how to parallelize reading from SQL queries. Probably someone know useful hacks for this.
Useful hacks for parallelize, yeah?
Yeah.
And continue, sorry. I lost.
Parallelize reading data from SQL queries.
Okay. Raising data. Okay, good ideas. And do you know the links on forum you can share with us in chat box, and maybe your group mates will really use in future if they need some examples or information. Adalbert, you said you asked, yeah, already questions.
Yeah.
Do you trust this forum? Do you think it's reliable?
Yeah, I checked that the person who answered me actually has good knowledge and did a lot of work in the field about which I asked.
Okay, that's great. You checked the information about the person, whether he is experienced, yeah?
Yeah.
That's great. And could you share with your group mates the forum you trust already?
I can Google it now and send the link in the chat.
Yes, thanks. Okay. So as we can conclude that in forum, what style of language do we use? Communicative language or formal language? If you speak about forum. Communicative language, yeah, informal language. So we can skip some grammatical rules, but in general we have to be polite, of course, and to thank people even in advance for their help. Yeah, don't forget about these two rules. And to be clear in our questions. To understand, for people to understand, yeah, what you want from them. Okay, Adalbert has sent us. So guys, if you are interested in, you can save this link just in case. Maybe you need some help in future. Thank you, Adalbert, for sharing. Okay, so, and analyzing the literature, and thanks to your bachelor's diploma, we know that you understand what we are talking about if we speak about the analysis of information, theoretical information related to your study, right? Anyway, some articles or scientific research might be doubted, or you can't trust them so much, or maybe you've got some ideas that it's not enough in their research information. It's not enough information for you to use it as a trustworthy and reliable source of information or credible source of information, достоверный. So that is why critical review is very helpful in this case. What is critical review? When you read a scientific research, like in the form of article in a scientific magazine or even journal, scientific journal, you have to be critical, yeah, whether this information is reliable for you and whether the information is trustworthy. And that is why if you read research critically, it means that you are reading considering what is good in this research and what needs maybe to be improved or to be studied in more details, more thoroughly. And you should always read the research critically, because it allows you to judge how reliable their results are and whether you can use them as a credible resource for your research. We will listen to junior researcher with a psychology student about the investigation for critical review and the advice or some tips how to work and to write it. And we will answer these two questions in part B, okay? These two, A and B. If you read research critically, and you should always read research critically, so proving the information. So, sorry, I will find. By the way, while I'm looking for the audio, I'm so sorry to inform you. We have today only one lesson because I have an entrance exam at 2 p.m. So additional entrance exam for future masters. So that is why I'm sorry for our schedule. According to the schedule, we have 2 lessons today. But would you mind to have 2 lessons the next week? And this week we will have only 1. Wouldn't it be a problem for you?
It's okay.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's listen about critical review and why we should read critically.
Martina, before I start the review, I just want to check a couple of things.
Uh-huh.
So first, how long should my review be?
So, for this one, you should be able...
Sorry, I need to share with you the book. Okay. Share. Sorry, I got lost. Okay, now you can see the book, yeah, and you exercise 7. This one. We will listen to some questions about critical review, and we'll discuss these questions after listening, trying to answer them, okay? Can you still see the book despite I switch on? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Two.
Sorry.
My research focuses on
No.
highlight.
Oh, it's so inconvenient to find. Okay.
Check a couple of things.
Oops.
Number of problems with
2.1.
Okay, this one.
Martina, before I start the review, I just want to check a couple of things.
uh-huh.
So, first, how long should my review be?
So, for this one, you should be able to do it in a couple of paragraphs. In the first one, start with a brief summary of the research, and then go on to a second one, which gives your opinion.
And you
So, the first question, how long should the review be? Let's answer. How long? Could you hear?
Yes.
How many paragraphs should it be?
2
2 paragraphs, and the first one should include words. The summary, yeah, of the article, and the second one, own opinion about the information which is given, okay? Let's move on listening to.
Usually, I just read the abstract to find out about the research. So, can I write a critical review if I've only read the abstract?
Not really. I mean, in terms of the summary, you could get pretty much everything from the abstract, but it really won't help you to do a good critical review. You need to have read and understood the whole paper properly before you can judge how good it is.
Okay, so how we answer this question? Is it enough to read just the abstract?
No, you should read the whole
Paper?
paper, since you can't give a full critical review about the text.
Right, John. Okay, thank you. Next one.
I guess that's true. So, in that case, how should I approach the reading? What should I read first?
Well, of course, you should read the abstract first to get a very general idea. Then, focus on highlighting the key information in the introduction, methods, results, and discussion. I'd draw up a table to fill in the key points.
Okay, so what should be read first? Denise, what should be read first? Adelbert, could you hear?
Sorry, I had a little bit of stable internet.
Okay, so the first one, you have to read the abstract, of course, to find out whether this article is appropriate for you to analyze. And after that, the key points, the methods, the introduction, methods, results, and so on. Please be attentive.
Something like this?
Yeah, that looks great.
Is it a good idea to think of questions I want answered? Like I've done here?
Yes, it's really good to have those key questions written down. They'll help to keep you focused while you're reading and note-taking.
Yeah, someone else suggested I do that. And you mentioned note-taking. Do I need to take notes, or can I just highlight the relevant bits of the text?
Well, you could simply highlight, but it's really important when you write the summary that it's in your own words. So if you make notes in your own words, that will help you later.
Good point. And I've added this column to make notes on what I think is good and bad as I go along, to do the critique later.
Excellent idea. So, why don't we...
So the two more questions. Is it a good idea to think of questions you want to answer?
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
And is it necessary to take notes or just highlight the relevant bits of the text?
Yes. It is good to take notes.
Yes, in your own words, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at part B. So here we have 4 main sections: introduction, method, results, and discussion. And here are the questions that Ruchi has written. Which questions do you think belong to introduction part? So read these questions, 7 questions, and give the numbers for introduction part. So the hint, here are 2 numbers, 2 questions, which might be for introduction.
The 5th, who, what was studied.
Not exactly. What was the hypothesis? Yes, what was the hypothesis? And one more. So firstly, in introduction part, we speak about the necessity to write about this issue. Yes, right. Yeah. So 2 questions belong to introduction part. Why is this research relevant and what was the hypothesis? 2 methods. What questions belong to method? What procedure was used? Number 6, right? Тобто це методи, якими ми проводимо дослідження, да? What variables were investigated? Які змінні були досліджені також? належить to methods, belongs to methods. Number 1, and one more. You see there are 3 lines. So 1, 6, and the main question. Who? No, it's results. Who or what was studied? Тобто, що ми досліджуємо? Number 5. Okay, and results. Which question belongs to results? You have already mentioned it, just mentioned. What were the main findings? And the next discussion. Yes, how did the author interpret the results? Okay, right here. This one. We have, when we look at looking for the information to write a critical review, we have to take into account whether the research is credible. It means достовірний. Whether the research is original, no plagiarism, yeah. Whether the research is reliable, and whether it's significant. Do you know the meaning? Significant?
Значимый. Важливый.
Важливий, да, значимий. And valid. What is valid? Чи ще актуальний, да? Тобто, наскільки він достовірний, описано в ньому там процес там чи дослідження, наскільки достовірне, наскільки воно оригінальне, чи ні в кого не слизано, наскільки надійно, наскільки важливе воно дійсно для нас, щоб приділити йому час, і наскільки воно ще актуальне. So, and we have a summary. We have a summary. But this summary devoted to the psychology, devoted to the anxiety. What is anxiety? Anxiety. Do you know the word? Do you know the meaning? Тревожність. So they are investigating anxiety and the consumption of the chocolate by young people and whether their anxiety will be reduced after eating chocolate. I'm not sure it will be interesting for you to investigate about this research, but what is useful? Useful here, the extract from critical review and part A and part B, 2 parts. You will read the abstract on your own, please, and tell me, please, which part summarizes the research and which part gives an evaluation. Okay? Have you read?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, which part summarizing the research? A or B? Part A, yes, and gives an evaluation, оценку.
Part B.
B.
Part B. Why are these words underlined? Some words are underlined in the text. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. And the consequence, yeah, in addition, one problem, one more, another problem. Furthermore, більше того, да, and it gives like linking words which help us to see the whole text and to understand the idea. So what I would like you to do for the next time. Have you ever heard about Google Academy? Have you ever visited this website? Google Scholar. Google Scholar. No, Google Scholar. So I will share with you the screen. Google Academia or Google Scholar in English. So here in searching window, you can type the keywords you need for searching scientific articles. I will share with you this link. Oh, sorry. So, but in this Google Scholar, you can type the keywords you need for the research, and you will be given scientific books and scientific articles available for you to read and analyze. Okay? And I would like you to find a scientific article which might be relevant for your future research, and write 2 paragraphs of critical analysis of this article, like we have read in the example. It will be one more your written task, which might be obligatory for your future credits. So the first written task was CV. The second one is critical review of the article. The next one will be literature overview, and according to the standards, like оформлення літератури по стандартам. Є 2 стандарти зараз, які використовуються в науковій галузі, то ми з вами їх проаналізуємо, і ви напишете там по 5 зразків of references for your also future research. And the last one, the observation of your future research. So 4 written tasks for getting credit, and one of them is critical review of the article. You can use Google Scholar. You can use any other website like Web of Science or any other. But what I need you to do, just to find the article which might be useful for you in your future research, and write 2 paragraphs of critical review. Okay? Okay, so, and it's really easy to find in Google Academia what you need, and maybe it's really help you in your future research, and while you analyze it in English, so you can also use this information for the first part of theoretical part of your master's research. Okay? Thank you very much for being present today and finding the time and possibility to join. And thanks for understanding for my absence the next lesson, and hope to see you next week with the works, analyzed works, and critical review for these articles. Okay?
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.